Hello, today we're going to look at multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. We'll start off multiplying a fraction by a fraction. Can you remember how to do these? Multiplying a fraction by a fraction is actually quite straightforward because we don't need to make the denominators the same before we do it in the way that we would with addition or subtraction of fractions. So in fact we can just get straight on with our multiplying. We're going to multiply the numerator by the numerator to give a new numerator, and the denominator will be multiplied by the denominator to give a new denominator. It's quite straightforward, you can just go for it. So 4 times 2 for the numerator and 9 times 3 for the denominator. Can you see what these would be? So 2 times 3 is 6 for the numerator and 7 times 5, 35 for the denominator. 4 times 2 is 8 and 9 times 3 is 27. It's quite straightforward and you can just go for it because you do not need to change the denominators to make them the same. When we're multiplying mixed numbers, you may remember that a mixed number is a mixture of a whole number and a fraction. When we're multiplying mixed numbers, it really is the same idea. To start with, you could forget that your whole numbers are there and just focus on your fractions. So you're starting with 2 times 3 to give you 6 and 4 times 5 to give you 20. You can then look at your whole numbers. 4 times 3 is 12. When you want to multiply a mixed number by a whole number, it helps to think about the whole number and turn it into a fraction. Any number, any whole number, can actually be written as a fraction if you want by putting a 1 on the bottom, like we have here. If you think about it, this makes sense because you're having 1 in a whole one, and if you've got 3, that's enough for 3 whole ones. So this means the same as this. Now that we've written it as a fraction with the 1 as the denominator, it's much easier to do. We're back to what we started. 3 times 3 is 9, and 5 times 1 is 5. We have a 4 here and nothing to times it by, so it's 4. Because this is an improper fraction here, we wouldn't write it, leave it like this. We would change this to make some more whole ones. If you're working in fifths, you need 5 fifths to have a whole one. Now we've got 9 fifths. 5 fifths is enough for 1 whole one, so we've got enough for an extra whole one. So we've changed 5 here instead of 4. If we're taking 5 of these away to have 5 whole ones, we're now left with 4 fifths. So our final answer is 5 whole ones, because there was another whole one here, and 4 fifths.